Okay, we're on neutralization reactions. Neutralization reactions are a special type of double replacement reaction. It's when you have an acid combining with a base. So those are your two compounds. You're producing water and some salt. So you're producing two different compounds. So in general, this is how you will see a acid-base neutralization reaction written out. And let me explain. Okay, so HA would be your acid. Notice that it begins with an H, so that means it's an acid because all acids contain hydrogen. And then you have compound BOH, and bases contain the ion hydroxide usually, so that's why this is my base. I'm underlining the H and the B because those are the cations which will switch places. And when they switch places, I'm going to produce water and some salt. So keep in mind that a salt is some sort of ionic compound that is a cation attached to an anion. Okay, so there are some common acids and bases listed at the bottom of page 6. You don't have to memorize that. It is just there as a reference, okay? If you turn to page 7 of the chapter handout, I gave you 3 specific examples of neutralization reactions. So the first is HNO3 combining with CaOH2, and it looks like this, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this out in words. HNO3 is known as nitric acid. I wouldn't suggest writing it as that. I would write it as hydrogen nitrate. So you want to write the acids incorrectly because it is easier for you to see what is going to switch places. And then CaOH2 is calcium hydroxide. So the hydrogen and the calcium are the ions, or I'm sorry, I should say cations that are listed in the beginning of each compound. So those are what are going to switch places. When they switch places, you're going to form hydrogen hydroxide, which is H plus 1 and OH minus 1, which is really water. So I'm going to write that as HOH. And then when you form water in a neutralization reaction, it's going to be a liquid, so I'm going to put a little L after it. And then you're forming calcium nitrate, which is your salt because that is an ionic compound. Calcium is a cation, nitrate is an anion. So it's Ca plus 2, NO3 minus 1. You're going to cross the charges, and you're going to end up with Ca parentheses NO3 parentheses 2. Okay, and it looks like this. Now what you can do is you can reference the solubility rules. Nitrates are soluble. Calcium is not an exception, so we're going to put a little AQ after it. Okay? Okay. Now, we're not balanced, so you need to put a 2 in front of HOH and a 2 in front of HNO3, and there you go. So HNO3 is my acid. CaOH2 is my base. I formed water, which is HOH, and I formed a salt, which is my calcium nitrate. Okay, so this is your neutralization reaction. All right, for the next one, you've got HBr combining with LiOH, and the hydrogen and the lithium are what are going to switch places. I'm going to write this out in words: hydrogen bromide rather than hydrobromic acid, and lithium hydroxide. Okay, so the lithium and the hydrogen are what are going to switch because those are the cations in each compound. When they switch, I'm going to get hydrogen hydroxide and lithium bromide. So it's going to look like this. Okay, I'm going to check the solubility rules for bromides. Bromides are usually soluble. Lithium is no exception. So I'm going to put a little AQ after the lithium bromide. Okay, this is totally balanced, so I can leave all the coefficients as blanks or 1s. HBr is my acid, LiOH is my base, HOH is water, lithium bromide is my salt. So this is your neutralization reaction, okay? Okay, there's one more. We have H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid, but I'm going to write it as hydrogen sulfate, and barium hydroxide. The barium and the hydrogen are the cations in the compound, so those are what are going to switch places. I'm going to get hydrogen hydroxide and barium sulfate. Okay, so I'm going to write hydrogen hydroxide on the product side and barium sulfate. I'm going to cross their charges. I'm going to get BaSO4. Okay, so BaSO4 is my salt. I'm going to look at SO4s. Sulfates are usually soluble. Barium happens to be an exception. This is going to be a solid, and we're going to put a 2 in front of HOH to balance it. So H2SO4 is my acid, BaOH2 is my base, HOH is my water, BaSO4 is my salt, and this is my neutralization reaction. Okay, so what I gave you was a worksheet on neutralization reactions. The solubility rules are at the top, so you can reference them. Everything is given to you in words, so what you want to do is write the words out of the products first and then convert the words to the formulas and balance it. Just keep in mind, when you have an acid like hydrochloric acid, you want to rewrite that as hydrogen chloride. When you have nitric acid, rewrite it as hydrogen nitrate. Phosphoric acid would be hydrogen with phosphate. Acetic acid, hydrogen with acetate. And then switch the words and write your chemical formulas and balance it.